This just in, a massive Bitcoin dump has just occurred. The markets are trembling. Everyone is in panic. Longs are truly feeling the pain right now. And wait, hold on. It's only like a 2% movement. I just looked at the chart. It's like a 2% movement. What's everyone freaking out about? Okay. Is it still rolling? Okay, let's try again. All right. This just in. Bitcoin is still sideways. Expert analysts say more sideways. Stay tuned for today's episode of Breaking Bitcoin.
Hello everyone, my name is Silvio Micali. I'm the founder of Algorand and I'm proud and happy to be here with this edition of Breaking Bitcoin.
Welcome back to Breaking Bitcoin. This is your daily source for everything cryptocurrency trading and investing. I'm your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hopefully everyone watching today is doing fantastic wherever they are and however they happen to be tuning in, whether you're watching us on YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, or on Roku. So before we begin, of course, Cracking Cryptocurrency is very proud to host the fastest growing online community of traders and investors. To stay up to date, make sure to join our Discord server. Link is in the description, or you can go to discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Now, there's a lot I want to talk about today, guys. The first thing that I want to talk about is just to touch on a few things that I went over yesterday in the premium community mentoring session, which is my overall sentiment, where we're at in the markets, and things to be aware of. So one term comes to mind very quickly, and that's altcoin euphoria, right? So you can call this whatever you like. This doesn't just occur with altcoins. This occurs in every tradable asset. You see these market cycles over and over again. If you are proficient enough to survive trading long enough to be profitable, which is accomplished through a systems approach and managing risk. But just moments in the market where, this is kind of how it seems on crypto Twitter and across the space, particularly here on YouTube, is, what I'm hearing from, newer traders, novice traders, is that sentiment that, every coin that you didn't own is making a new all-time high. Everyone and everything seems fully convinced that every single pattern or pullback is a buying opportunity. It seems like everybody is ordering Lambos. The reality is they're not. Moments like this bring out the worst in us. Moments of relative tops and moments of market euphoria. That's why there are emotional market cycles. That's why the dominant force in the market is human psychology, right? It is your biggest enemy in your trading. It's your biggest enemy in the market. And it's probably one of the best sentiment indicators to kind of figure out statistically where we're at and what is likely to progress from here, right? Moments of euphoria and fear bring out, moments of market highs and lows, bring out the worst in human behavior, right? It's greed and fear, okay? And that greed and fear causes you to make very poor decisions often. Now, many of you who were around in 2017 and 2018, maybe even some of you who are watching this channel in 2017 and 2018, will hopefully remember a really big lesson from 2018, particularly in the altcoin market. Euphoria is a real thing, and it makes you make bad decisions, particularly in the realm of risk management and conservatism. So when traders feel euphoric, they often tend to forget their discipline and their rules, and they begin to make the cardinal sin mistakes of trading. So premium members are aware that there's a spreadsheet that's available to all of them called the Cardinal Sins of Trading, which are the common mistakes that retail traders make and the mistakes that we aim to not make as professionals. And the biggest mistake that I see novice traders make is position sizing and reckless trading. It's kind of like the opposite of jumping at shadows. Like every pattern's a falling, like every pattern's a triangle, every pattern's a falling wedge, every breakout is continuation. They're not always. That's exactly what it kind of feels like when things are about to do a big turnaround. And again, trends can continue and persist, but you have to be aware of where you're buying relatively. And almost inevitably, the traders that begin making these laps in discipline and begin trading recklessly, they generally start off doing well, which is terrible because they're rewarded for bad behavior that the market overall does not reward. The market does not reward you for recklessness. The market rewards you over time for being conservative and cautious. So individuals that are rewarded, though, do great. They make money until a hit comes, and it's a big hit. It always is. And if they're not careful, the hits just keep on coming. And this is a lesson that every single person watching this channel, watching this show right now, or that will watch this in the future, or that will ever approach the financial markets is going to learn, or they will not be able to stay in this game very long, right? Professional traders manage risk no matter what. It's the most important thing in my strategy is risk management. It's the most important thing to my trading. It trumps risk. It trumps technical analysis. It trumps entries. It trumps exits. You guys know my standing bet. We don't care about the fantastic stories or your ridiculous gains or your Lambos or whatever you just ordered off Amazon. You know, professional traders manage risk, and we tend to consistently use smaller position sizes relative to our capital, right? Now, I want to point this out, of course, there are accumulation zones in a market, right? This is a mindset and a technical analysis approach that we covered yesterday with the premium members. We went over the technical analysis of identifying these levels and strategies on how to trade this strategy. A walkthrough of how to trade this strategy. Now, there are some coins in accumulation zones right now. There are some stocks and there are other assets that are in those zones too. Most altcoins are not in that zone. Most altcoins appear to be in the, let's say, please buy my bag at the top, euphoric noobs range. And also remember, this is another thing that I'm noticing too. If you're diversifying into other markets, that is fantastic. Absolutely great. But if you're wading into stocks, or if you're wading into crypto from stocks, or if you're going into commodities, or you're trading futures, and you have zero previous experience, and you're using reckless position sizing and reckless entries, you're a dummy, and you're going to get hooked. If not this time, then eventually. There is no get rich quick scheme. Guys, it just doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. It's not there. It doesn't matter how many alt seasons we go through. The big winners, these cycles will always repeat themselves. And inevitably, it is the individuals who either trade systematically, no matter what the market's doing, or individuals that are patient, right? So huge winners on these rallies posting, triple digit gains are individuals that bought at very low prices when the rest of the market was afraid to purchase, right? And they were patient and they were rewarded for their speculative investment. They patiently waited to be rewarded and the market rewarded them for being patient. And then traders like myself or other systems traders who execute a consistent strategy day in and day out. We don't really care what way where the markets go, where they move. We just wait for a signal or a trade that's in our wheelhouse and then we take it. Right? So the hype cycle, the euphoria nonsense, it's just a big psychological game to steal your money. It's happened time and time before. There is nothing new under the sun. It has always been a fleece, a dupe to steal retail traders' money. It always is. Most things in the market are, right? So kind of takeaways from my little opening rant is trade like a pro, which is just like trade like an adult, please, right? Manage your risk, position size responsibly, and consistently, and trade your setups, the ones that you have put in the work to develop and identify. All right. So updates real quick on things that are coming out. Obviously, the Online Trading Academy is going to go live on Monday with the first course, the Pathways to Profit course. We're going to cover a few more notes on that here in just a second. I'm very, very, very proud of the progress that everybody's made on making that a reality. As well as the Members Come Home campaign. We've started to send out a few emails. There are a few more left, we've already sent out some. There are a few more emails left to go. Again, previous members who were subscribed to the premium trading group who have not had the, pleasure of enjoying all our new features and services, from our signals to our new educational material, of which the Online Trading Academy will be going live on Monday, the bots, the new indicators, anything, the mentorship, all of the sessions, the new material on the drive. So we want to give them an opportunity to take advantage of that and to come home at a pretty significant discount. So if you were a premium member in the past and you do not receive an email, certainly by Monday, definitely hit us up. You can email our support desk at support@crackingcryptocurrency.com, and they'll do their best to take care of you and figure something out that's amenable. Big news of the day, massive Twitter hack. We have to talk about that. We're going to talk about that a lot later on in the show. Thousands of prominent Twitter accounts were forcibly taken over to promulgate a Bitcoin scam, which did succeed in snatching about 12.8 BTC from the last that we checked, from unsuspecting newbies. Guys, there is a lot about this that's really interesting. We're going to dig really into the dirt on this. But I will say this, of course, goes without saying. No one will ever send you free money. Nobody will ever send you, nobody is ever going to give you free Bitcoin. And if they do, they are long conning you or slow conning you in one way or the other, right? It doesn't matter if it's Bill Gates, Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey. They're not going to give you free money, right? Wealthy people do not become wealthy by giving money to strangers on the internet. Yeah, nobody ever does it. It appears, what it does appear to be that this is a pretty huge scandal for Twitter, right? It's revealed a lot about their infrastructure, and we're going to break that all down in a bit, right? And personally, I don't know whether to be happy that my account wasn't compromised or insulted, right? But I'm kidding. I do know exactly how to feel. I'm grateful, right? I have a very simple credence, right? I live like a ninja, trade like a ninja, and shitpost on Twitter like a ninja. So it's good to be ignored sometimes. All right, so sorry I wasn't here for yesterday's show. I had to step in and facilitate some transportation for some family members. Everything's totally fine. Thank you guys so much for your well wishes. I got a ton of emails. They're like, "Are you dead?" No, I'm fine, man. I just had to take a 3-hour drive and then a 4-hour drive and then a 3-hour drive. So I'm pretty tired today. I was up quite late. Obviously, I had all the driving yesterday, top of my regular duties that I'm doing from my mobile, and then I was up quite late working on the Online Trading Academy and the Members Home Come Home campaign, which will be done tomorrow. So again, the Online Academy is going live on Monday. Super excited about it. Very, very, very excited to share that with you. I will do somewhat of a preview as we get closer to that, probably on Monday, right? So a little bit of a preview right now. So that, again, the flagship course that's going out is, of course, our updated Pathways to Profit strategy creation course. So in that course, for those of you who aren't familiar, but even those of you who have taken it or taken parts of it or are currently taking it right now, huge revamp, right? So obviously in that course, we cover building a technical strategy, step by step by step. I mean, very, very, very user-friendly. Optimizing your entry by filtering losses and increasing the quantity of winning trades that you take. Optimizing your exit to increase the impact of your winning trades on your end of year P&L. Optimizing your losses by reducing not only the quantity of losing trades that you take, also the impact of losing trades that you do take, right? And identifying the dominant trend so that you do never trade against it. There is a streamlined backtesting procedure with updated sheets, with updating accompanying material and instructions, full picture guide, everything, the whole 9 yards. Spreadsheets, support for every step of the testing and optimization process. Listen to a lot of the feedback. So there's a ton of new lessons in there covering things that I assumed, I just generally assume that people would kind of figure out what fits best for them. But, I get it. Like there are individuals without the experience, without the skill, and, good hard rules work better. So we've answered 2 big questions that have kind of come up in the group over the last year or so. One is, what do I do if I cannot trade the daily close, right? We do have a verified solution. We've been testing it over the last year for mostly our European brothers and sisters in trading that are watching us today. And then the second question is, well, what markets should I trade, right? Like specifically, like should I just trade, every crypto market? Should I trade all the all BTC pairs? Like what watch list should I create? So in the new process, we do identify the best markets for your strategy and enforce that you only trade those markets, right? There's a whole module dedicated just to that. And then I have added a ton of stuff by request, such as procedures for becoming a funded trader, whether you want to apply for a proprietary trading firm or whether you want to establish your own fund, which I highly recommend. In my personal tips and walkthroughs from my experience over the last 10 years, handling and trading investors' money or friends and family's money or a prop firm's money. So, and how to set yourself up for success on that with, just little nuanced things that if you haven't done it, if you haven't been in that scene, if you only know what you've read on the internet or seen on a YouTube video, it really behooves you to know that information. It really does, I think, help people out. And I know that to be the case from the private mentoring that I've done. Okay, with that being said, let's get into the live show. Actually, we're going to go ahead and switch cameras here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the live chat. The moderators are nice. They're friendly. If you guys have chart requests, we'll be happy to look at what you have. Time allowing, there is a lot that I want to cover today because there's just so much to talk about when Bitcoin's going sideways. And of course, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. The thumbs up help us more than you realize. And if you subscribe, you got to hit all the notifications. It's the only way it's going to work. I need a commitment, guys. I really do. And of course, if you're on Twitch or DLive, you can give us a follow or a sub if you enjoy the content over there. So with that being said, let's hop over here to the live scene and get this thing going. Boom. All right. How you guys doing? I need to pull up, it's pretty bright over here, so it's all right. It's going to be even brighter when the new light bulbs come. Hopefully it doesn't affect things too bad. But all right, I need to pull up a different chat window so that I can see everything. I can see the current chat, but OBS has had this kind of issue over the last few days where I can't scroll up. Okay, this is good. Pull OBS back up, make sure everything's running smoothly. All right, I hope you guys are doing just good, man. All right. Okay. Give a shout out to David Rice, S180XT, T-Dub, Crypto Jack in the house, Crypto Caveman, Midwest Attempts as always. Ron Legato, I see you over there, my friend. Minister C Politics says, I need that t-shirt. Please buy my bag, Euphoric Noob. I'm going to get right on that. That's a good one. POTUS just tweeted, send me your dollars and I'll double it in BTC. All right. Send it. Crypto beginner. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much, my friend. Okay. Did I look 5 years younger? It's the lighting, man. It's the lighting. It's probably the link shirt, right? It's the link shirt. Decided to go ahead and flip it. Anyways, all right. So the first thing that I want to do is give a comment shout out. Peckham08 in the comment section here on July 13th's stream. So this would have been not the last one that we did, but the second before last, because I wasn't here. And he says, I watch daily and many other channels. And if you want honest content, here is straight, clear, and concise. No premium barrier to interaction. People would pay good money just for this video content. Don't delay, subscribe. Not a premium member, but saving up. So trust this comment. Peckham, thank you very much, man. That is very, very kind. I highly appreciate that. Yeah, it's just, it's really nice. I've been doing this stream for about 3 years now, and it's allowed me to meet some fantastic individuals and just the support of the community. The individuals that really get what we're trying to do here. We provide just a ton of content, a lot of work, a lot of effort goes into making this every single day. And it's a time investment for myself. It's a time investment for everybody else. And, but we enjoy doing it. We really do. We really enjoy doing it. We enjoy teaching people what we do, getting our name out there. And the more individuals that decide to trade or are inspired to trade a systems-based approach, the more that we can do that, the more we've accomplished things. Because my original impetus for starting the live stream was I saw a lot of friends and people that I respected back in 2018 really get wrecked by the bear market. And I started off trading and investing, following the financial crisis. So I already had that kind of negative connotation in my head. And again, I'm a hard money advocate, right? I'm a sound money advocate. So I'm an advocate for Bitcoin. I'm an advocate for precious metals. I am a staunch opponent to the current economic system. I'm a staunch opponent to the current way that we do things. I do want to overall make the world a better and equitable place. And that does take sacrifice. Now, again, I'm also a hardcore capitalist and a fan of Ayn Rand and a fan of objectivism. So I do believe that the pursuit of what makes you a better person ultimately leads to the benefit of others if you do it properly, if you're doing it right. You guys can Google the altruistic hypothesis if you like, for some more information on that. So thank you so much for that comment, my friend. We're going to start off today with the trade of the day. So like I said on Monday, I have not done actually a lot of trading this week. I said that on Monday. I said, guys, not feeling it. I really said that on Friday, right? I closed out almost all my longs on Friday and relaxed over the weekend. And then come Monday, I said, I'm still not feeling it, right? I'm conservative. I don't really want to do anything until Thursday. You guys can go see that I tweeted that on Twitter on Monday. I said that on the show multiple times. I said that all over the Discord on Monday. And I've been true to my word. I really have not done too much trading. I've taken a few trades here and there on my automated systems, but nothing too crazy. And the short, I did open up short positions on Monday, but beyond that, I haven't done anything. So I haven't changed anything. So Probably the trade of the day for me, or just the highlight of the day for me, is going to be my Ethereum USD short. I did short Ethereum at 246.73. Normally, I would have shorted Ethereum on ByBit. I do have an automated strategy running on my Ethereum account on ByBit right now, though, so I did not take that trade there. I did actually take it on FTX. Now, the more that I trade on FTX, again, as I said, I do enjoy it. I do like FTX. I do not like it more than ByBit. I want to make that very, very clear. I still think, even though with everything that FTX offers, and it's a very nice exchange, I still prefer doing my bigger trading on ByBit. And that could just be my personal preference. It could be my experience with the exchange. It could be the multiple times I've seen them do things correctly, right? So all kinds of weird things happen. I don't want to say weird things, but all kinds of unpredictable things can happen on centralized exchanges, right? We're talking about websites go down, databases fail, hacks occur, liquidity dries up. Again, we can point out multiple examples where BitMEX has absolutely biffed this. And ByBit, on the other hand, I've seen them, again, not have many issues. And when they do have issues, they either refund money or give people credits or just do things the correct way. So I can't attest to that, but that's made a big impact on me. When you are deciding where to store your capital, when you have to store it on a centralized exchange, be very, very, very discerning about where you put that. So yeah, probably just the best trade that I have in the steepest P&L right now is my Ethereum USD short. This was a discretionary position. I shorted at 246.73. There was a, I have tuned ISISbot, or my current parameters right now that's running kind of my automated system. These are not the ones that I'm running. Those are going to remain private for now, but this is very, very close to what I'm running. There are several indicators that are, of course, not on the chart that determine when the entries actually occur, and that also manage a few things like trailing stop losses and take profit. But this is not being managed actively. There is a threshold level where the trade gets cut off because by the standards of the trade, the first take profit has been reached, stop loss has been moved to break even, and the trade remains open. Very similar with my BTC USD short. So I'm short both Ethereum and I'm short both Bitcoin and have been since Monday. Now, obviously, we've just got a decent down move intraday to the downside here on Ethereum USD. We are moving up in a little bit of a bear pennant or a bear flag. People are going to call it different things. We'll break that down. We can go to the encyclopedia if you want. It is a flag, and generally these tend to break to the downside. However, one can make the strong case that we are overall in a bull market that's retracing. Therefore, that does reduce the probability of downside breaks on bearish patterns, and so we can break to the upside. But overall, not really anything that I'm watching, not really anything that I'm interested in trading. We will kind of pay attention to the daily close tonight, but we're just not going to be getting trending indications. Trending indicators have been mostly dead for the last month. So anybody who is who is utilizing a strategy. And again, those who have taken the time to research their indicators and select good ones and go through all the backtesting process already know this. You guys aren't trading right now, really. Well, all coins you are, but Bitcoin, we haven't gotten a trending signal on Bitcoin for a while. The volume hasn't been there. The volatility hasn't been there. Bitcoin historic volatility at lows, again, this is the same as it was all week, but lows not seen since November 2018. And you guys know what happened in November 2018. We had a massive market crash. So falling volume is almost always bearish. It depends. There are certain things that matter, such as the context of falling volume. Are we approaching support? Has there been distribution? What are the volume signatures? Things that you can look at to get a better bead. But certainly my mood is still bearish moving forward. Of course, there was I think a short-term reversal purchase opportunity here. I think that trade has mostly played itself out. You're totally fine to expect this or want this to continue up to maybe even 240, back to 240. That is a possibility. It's not anything that I'm trading, and I don't really see anything that would suggest that I should do that. So not really making any changes. As I said, on Monday, I will wait until Thursday to take some action. I do think that the risk to reward is there to look at pullbacks on some of these altcoins and determine what are good entries now on Thursday, now that kind of the euphoria has died down a little bit and we've got our first few punches in the face and people are a little bit more cautious now. But I'm not really seeing the bloodbath that I would want to see, double-digit retracements that I would really want to see to come in here and take some discretionary positions. So here's Crypto Bubbles. Overall look at the cryptocurrency market today. This isn't really that bad. Corrections across the board, but again, I want to see negative 15, negative 20s, negative. I want to see some big market sells. I want to see some blood, and then I'd be pretty aggressive in buying, at least certainly in the short term. Again, we talked about this on. Don't mistake what I'm saying. We talked about this on. I talked about this yesterday in the community mentoring session. This is not the time to be an investor. This is the time to be a short-term speculator if you are going to trade that way. All right, so Ethereum USD short. So let's go ahead and start off with our real Bitcoin analysis. Not a whole lot that we're going to talk about today. We are going to carry on with the Ichimoku cloud system that we talked about on Monday, because this is a good opportunity to highlight particular strategies. As you guys know, the Ichimoku cloud system is a fantastic trading system. If you do not have a system, you certainly cannot go wrong by following the Ichimoku. I have a good video on this here on the channel. It's got quite a few views, and I'm really proud of that video, and I'm proud of the indicator because I created the Ichimoku indicator the way that I would like to trade it, the way that I always wanted to trade it, and it does all of those things. You can select the plots for Kumo Cloud breakouts, edge-to-edge trades, TK crosses. So the setup that we currently have right now that we are looking at from the Ichimoku cloud system is, of course, the TK cross under, the Tenkan Kijun cross under. This is a bearish signal. It did occur above a bullish Kumo cloud. In my experience, though, as a good friend spent a lot of time pointing out to me, generally price falls through Kumo clouds when they approach on falling volume, and these are the rules. Generally, when you approach a level of support or resistance on lowering volume, you tend to burst right through it. When you approach in high momentum and high volatility, you're going to break right through it. And here's some good examples. Here we break right through a bearish cloud to the upside, just churn right through it. That's an edge-to-edge trade. That is a trade setup. Here we approach a bullish cloud, or the cloud twist, really. Listen, do you see this? I want to zoom in on this. This is funny, right? So everybody's like, listen, green Kumo clouds are support. Everybody knows that, duh, Justin. And red Kumo clouds, those are bearish. So price is likely to fall through. Well, I don't know, you tell me, like price blasted up through the red bearish Kumo cloud, pulled back, held it as support. I mean, it traded into it and held the Tenkan actually as support, but carried on and then pulled back down for another retracement and held the red Kumo cloud as support again, bounced, and then blasted down through a green Kumo cloud. So you guys tell me. And then here's another example of price bursting up through a red Kumo cloud, and here we are approaching a green Kumo cloud. And this, listen, the trade setup here, the risk to reward is fantastic. This is, again, the first trade that I took was the entry that I took on Monday, and we have not quite hit that take profit yet. Well, at least on Bitfinex. We did hit it on ByBit. So we did hit the first take profit there. What I have posted on the chart here is for the Bitfinex chart. So again, roughly, we did okay. We actually hit it. The take profit I posted for the premium members, which is slightly different from this particular signal or chart setup here. We hit that on this day. We hit this on the 14th. So we hit this 2 days ago. So stop loss at break even. Everything is dandy. Now, a little bit more retracement now. We are now trading below the Tenkan line. We might close below the Tenkan line. And really the area to keep your eye on is the top of the Kumo cloud here, the Senku Spawn A, currently sitting at 93.42. Excuse me, no, that's not correct. It's let's just say 90. I don't need to say, I can just tell you. Spawn in 91.1920. 91.1920, a daily close below there would suggest or indicate a edge-to-edge trade setup, and you would be targeting 7,000. Actually, at this current moment in time, you would be targeting 7,200, excuse me, and potentially you could target up to 78.34. But I mean, just a big target, a big trade, a big move, targeting a 20% retracement of Bitcoin's price, and that's just simply what the chart suggests. Invalidation of this trade would be a daily close above the Kijun level at this point in time, which is currently sitting up at about 95.34. That's what the Ichimoku cloud system suggests, and that's overall pretty much what I'm going to do. As I said, breaking 9,000, breaking 10,000, these are significant levels, and until the chart changes, I think that trade setup represents the best R to R. We do not have any trending indications that we are reinitiating our trend. So any kind of, listen guys, this is just reality. You can sit here and you can mark this chart up all you want. You can identify your levels all that you want. You can, find patterns and volume and spikes and interesting things all you want. But at the end of the day, current price is the only thing that is real. That's it. And right now, price is moving down. And when it begins to move up in such a way that it triggers continuation, trending indications, then we'll be long. We'll be long to the gills because we'll be looking for this trend to continue. But this is not the time to be in a swing position. And if you are in a swing position, I would argue that it is certainly more logical here, unfortunately, in the short term, to be targeting downside in Bitcoin. The R to R is there. The R to R is better. The falling volume is there. The inability to achieve the consolidation, the kind of bearish patterns, and a few other things that you could just pull out of this thing. Pick something, right? So the short trade certainly does represent the short-term R to R for me. I do actually expect, although in the next 6 to 9 months, more bullish ascension. But again, I'm not gonna lie, that's discretionary. It's not really based off a lot besides my volume profile analysis. And ultimately, I don't want to be a moon boy here because the moon is made up of cheese, right? The moon isn't real. The moon is a fantasy, right? What you can do is you can trade in such a way where you can realize objective profits and earn an income, an active income from trading these markets. And you do not need to think or shill or sell or worry about the moon or this or that and the third. You could just be a good trader. You could just focus on taking good trades. That's what I recommend you guys do. All right, Donchian system not firing, so no signal there. If we look at kind of the overall roadmap of price, again, big picture here, we are consolidating in a rectangle top with support at 8,600 and resistance at around 10,000, 9,980. We are currently now trading in what you could argue is a descending channel. And we have targets for the breakout either way for the rectangle consolidation area, which I do really like. Rectangle tops and bottoms, they tend to break out nicely and cleanly and move to their measured move quite nicely. On a bullish break above 9,979, we'd be looking at a measured move to 11,327. To the downside, if we were to break 8631 or 8600, let's say, we would certainly be moving to 7283, which has very, very good confluence with the Ichimoku cloud target. So good things there. I do like to see confluence from my indicators or from my TA when I see it. Other thing that is a possibility, obviously, is a bounce from the descending channel. But this is mostly just for show right now. I'm not really expecting it to have any kind of predictive or trading power. So this means that if that does occur, if my new kind of bias is right, and we do actually break down from here, which again, I'm not saying that on the weekly. We have weekly consolidation, pretty painful consolidation. Generally, when we see this in Bitcoin, it is followed by a big dump, right? This is distribution. This is individuals who bought the lows, and a lot of people are buying Bitcoin. And so you do have to be certainly not the place, and I'll say it again. This is not the place for Bitcoin, nor for, well, you know what? I do have to qualify that for Bitcoin because there's a difference between investing and swing trading, right? If you're swing trading something, you don't want to have to hold it through drawdown. I've held Bitcoin through, well, not really, not too much since my initial entry, but certainly there have been positions in Bitcoin that I've purchased and sat through massive drawdown. So it is what it is. Bitcoin will eventually be a higher price. It is valuable. The market will bid it up as such. If we have to retrace to 7,000 to do so, at that point, I'm going to stop calling tops and bottoms. Again, I'm not calling tops and bottoms now. I'm suggesting statistics or likelihoods. But I don't want to make it as simple as, well, if we reject from here, we'll just reaccumulate at 7,000 and then bounce right back up. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'll follow price. I'll let price decide. Price might decide it wants to go down to 3,000. Price might decide it wants to go to $500. I don't know. But I do know that when I get, that when something happens that is significant, my system will tell me if the trade's in my wheelhouse, and I will take that trade and I will execute it the way that I'm supposed to. That's all we can do. Market cap dominance is seeing a bit of a bounce as expected. Perhaps it is a little moon boyish to be targeting like the 66, a return to 66% Bitcoin dominance. That would really crush alts. I was expecting like a sharper bounce than continuation of the altcoin cycle. Yeah, this is really putting in a little bit of volume here at the bottom. So Certainly the jury is out on this one. I do think that we do continue to see some upside here, especially if people continue to sell off alts. And we're seeing basically just a weekly doji so far. Now, we're only about halfway through the week, but this is still pretty indicative, especially if we close like this. But here's something that I want to point out on Bitcoin dominance, and you can kind of make an argument here. But we do have a falling volume characteristic as we have approached a third retest of support. Generally, this is a breakdown pattern for me. So this is more than likely not a fake out of the, again, we see a pretty big candle, the previous weekly candle right here for Bitcoin dominance, dropping us down to a close of about 63.70. And we haven't had, kind of a nice bounce back up here to resistance, then a rejection. That would have been too clean. That would have been too simple. Daily still super overextended, so I do expect a little bit more upside here. But ultimately, I do expect Bitcoin dominance to actually break down to about 58 to 60. So my initial thought is that will continue to push altcoin prices up after we have about a 20% retrace. Let's average out about 20 to 30% retrace on most of our coins here. But it is possible, and we covered this in the news cycle a couple days ago, all of the money in Tether, or all the money in stable coins, and how that trend could continue to grow. So it's possible that individuals do not move back into Bitcoin when they sell their altcoins. It's possible that they move into USDT. But yeah, we'll just see. We'll see. All right. My throat is hurting just a little bit. Take a little sip of water here. Oh boy. Okay. Here on the hourly, kind of looking at overall what's happened with Bitcoin here. We get a nice little scam pump here, which led to a little bit of upside. This was just going back a couple days. And then we fall really in this tightening pattern, very, very, very low volume. And then, early this morning, really early this morning, really late last night, pretty big, pretty good sized dump for the volatility and the volume that we've seen. I mean, geez, we haven't seen a dump like that since 4 days ago. Fantastic. And of course we get big volume sell off. CM Williams, VIX Fix calling for the bottom here. ISIS spot not actually signaling for the bottom here, but look at funding. Funding is extremely negative. Prices in backwardation, derivatives prices in backwardation, indicating that retail is selling more than buying. So prices likely to continue to move up until they get liquidated. So a lot of individuals a lot of individuals shorted this, and they are likely going to be punished before price continues down if it decides it wants to. Again, cannot understate the fact that we are at a level of support. We have bounced here before, but we're looking weak, man. And again, volume is so low that we either need to see one of those just shake everything up volume spikes to the upside to kind of give us a good idea of where we're at and that there are interested buyers. But we've seen that several times too. We saw it here and we saw it here. You can argue that we saw it here and it hasn't led to any follow through. So just be careful out there, guys. Just wait until your trending indicators activate, right? Like, I'll just give you one. Tell you what, you put this indicator on your chart. Let's give you a really simple one. All right, we'll put this. Oh well, that already wants us to buy, so that's not a good example. We really need an initiation. All right, so let's do. All right, guys, just wait until you get something looks like this on QQE mod. Good entry indicator, let you know when the market's trending. And you tell me when we get something like that. Because unlike most indicators, this thing has had you not trading. Especially if you pair this with all the other components of PDP. So if you're getting a ton of entries here and like you've been like getting chopped up, I don't know what to tell you, man. Your indicators suck. Gotta get better ones. All right, Ethereum, I'm still short. I don't really think there's much difference to say about Ethereum. We kind of just covered it here. I mean, it looks very identical to Bitcoin. Likely to move up in the short term. And if we're looking for kind of a level of reentry, I would be looking at the 236, 237 level. But it's also possible that get some turnaround at 235. There's nothing here that I want to trade, guys. I don't want to long at this extension. There was obviously the reversal trade, and then if this continues to go, you get rewarded for buying that reversal. But I would certainly expect to see price in the short term move up today. All right, we already talked about. All right, so let's look at my highlight. I want to point this out because I think this is funny. All right, so this is my ADA USDT short. I initially shorted here. Average entry of about 0.13409. And it, after a few hours, price immediately dumped. Did not hit my take profit. Price came back all the way up price came all the way back up to my entry. Formed a low, a lower high, and then executed a swing failure pattern right here. So a swing failure pattern is a pattern that I look for. This is a good reversal sign. We did form a new low, and that's fairly indicative to me. There's no liquidity to grab. It is what it is. And I do think that we're going to see more downside for ADA. So still short. I will weather this retracement just like I weathered this retracement. And if it hits my stop loss, well, then I had a losing trade. But certainly the R to R and the odds are with me on this one. So I quite like the ADA trade as well as VeChain, for example. Link on the other hand, not so lucky. I did get stopped out on my Lisk short. And again, here was the, this was where I originally shorted. And price did reject a little bit, consolidated, and broke to the upside. So again, have not seen the sell-off on Link that we want to. This, I got the Link short on. It's going to be controversial, but listen, it's not. I don't care what anybody says. If you are investing at Link at these prices, or if you're buying Link because you're planning on holding it, I mean, I do not believe that is in your best interest. Right? There are trade setups that you can certainly identify here on Link. You could be swinging for continuation. You could be scalping, which you probably should do when volume's really high and you're starting to develop a range. You scalp. But as far as, I've heard some really silly things like, man, I'm buying Link at $8 or $8.69, and I am not selling it till $200. Good luck with that. I mean, really, good luck with that. But again, no hate to the Link to the Link Marines out there. No hate to you guys. If you guys are holding and you're in deep profit and you've taken some profit, keep holding. You don't know how far this thing can go. When things are irrationally bullish or irrationally bearish, market trends can persist far longer than you could originally anticipate. It's kind of like a Ponzi scheme. Every time there's a new wave of buyers that come in, that overall keeps pushing the market up. And as long as there's enough buyers that come in that can facilitate weak hands, quote unquote, leaving the market, you can keep a trend going for a long time. And I'm not saying that Link is going to sell off here. I mean, that would certainly be the trade that I would be inclined to take because there's an equities part of me, the old Tom DeMark part of me that loves to fade breakouts. It's good strategy generally if you do it right. But those of you out there who are just watching Link, already sold Link, and you're looking to buy back into it, you can trade Link all day. The volume on this is great. The volatility on this are great. There's going to be some good movements up, down, left, right, sideways. But if you're like, you just have to ask yourself, look into your soul. If you're buying Link at these prices, you think it's a good investment, maybe you just need to take a step back from the markets and read a few books about economics. All right, I will take a, let me see what we got for the chart requests up here, my friend. Oh, T-Dub is still short on Link. What a gangster, man. What a gangster. I'm not gonna lie. I have because of the way that 3 commas did my trade, I actually have 9 Link open in a smart cover, but I don't have my original position size on. And that may change, but it's probably not going to. I've already kind of reevaluated the trades that I want to put on this evening. Unfortunately, a Link short is not one. But later on in the show, when we get to the questions and answers, we're going to touch on this quite a bit because we have a question here from the premium member lounge, actually, from AMC Trading, talking about fading Link. And I've got some good answers for him. So stick around. We're going to cover that. All right. So let's find a request here. Crypto Kids 978 says, or is that moonshine? 120 proof, baby. T-Borg's channel says, would I please look at AGNC for me? I'm looking to add to a dividend portfolio. I love looking at dividend stocks. All right, let's go take a gander. So not super familiar with what they're going to be offering. I mean, they got a pretty decent forward dividends yield, but I mean, this is a little risque for me. You know, I'm not personally, I'm not a fan of doing the small, like, non-blue chip dividend stocks because I'd like to be paid consistently. But however, having said that, let's take a look at the technicals. So they weren't bad; they were terrible. So sorry, guys. I was tired and I got a little bit of a dry throat. So, let's go to the weekly and look at AGNC here. Okay, so AGNC bid up, you know, until 2013. It's sold off since 2013. So you were already in a bearish trend. You've had March meltdown, COVID panic capitulation, plunging us to new all-time lows. So listen, certainly, if you are a fan of AGNC as a company, if you enjoy their products and services, if you like what they do, if you think that you would be willing to hold them no matter what, you know, if the CEO is your brother, then this is certainly a relatively good place, to buy shares of this company because you are basically buying at the listing price. So that took about 2 years to do. No, why did I say 2 years? That's weird. This is a weekly chart, so it took from 2009. It's 11 years to do. 12 cents, crazy. See here on the weekly, I do see obviously just big buys. Price moving up on falling volume into a kind of consolidation pattern. So volatility is getting compressed, the range is getting compressed, and we're kind of doing the same thing here to the downside, but a break. This would kind of start to look like a I call them camels, but you guys are not gonna know what I'm talking about. It's a breakout pattern, but we're gonna say bupkis to that. And we're going to do our own research here. Well, so if we argue that price was forming somewhat of a ascending triangle, then we can, let's see here, 1, 2, white space 3, space 4, pretty weak. Not seeing if it touches on the top. So just really more a significant level of horizontal resistance here. At about 1444 that needs to be broke. That's the 52-day high. You know, consolidation down on lowering volume and then rising volume coming out of this. You know, AGNC is certainly not bad. I would take, you know, you could take a swing trade or a continuation trade, like 13, not continuation trade, but you could take a range trade here to about the 1440 range. Or I would feel comfortable doing that. It's not a super amazing setup, but it's not bad. And then manage risk below these lows, or with Quadriga, which would be better. I'd say this is a busted pattern because we ambled out the side, and that's a busted pattern. So yeah, it's really the only thing I see here of significance. Falling volume as prices consolidating underneath resistance. It's kind of doing the opposite thing that Bitcoin's doing, because this is forming higher lows and moving up closer and closer to consolidate near that level of resistance, unlike Bitcoin, which is forming lower highs and consolidating your support. So AGNC looks decent. On the 4-hour chart, we seem to be a little overextended, so I might most likely wait for a pullback. Ideally, try to get around 1298, somewhere near this previous level of support, looking and hoping that price back tests. But overextended on the 4-hour, not a time to enter for me. I really appreciate it, guys. All right, so that is the okay, that's going to be the chart request. We'll do another one if time allows. Let's see here. What we're going to do now. All right, we're going to do our before we get into the second portion of our market analysis, where we're going to cover Forex, precious metals, and indices. We're going to do our daily community service to get as many traders off of BitMEX as humanly possible. All right, my goal, it's my quest. I do just not likes them, and maybe it's a personal thing, but they've just had years and years and years to make their platform usable and friendly, and they've focused on other things instead. It's a shame. I used to have a lot of fun on BitMEX. It used to be the place back in the day, but nowadays, particularly for newer traders entering the space, you want to store your capital someplace where it's safe. Best place to do that is cold storage. But if you're going to put it on an exchange, at least put it on an exchange where you can have access to the tools that you need, to the markets that you need to trade. Again, ByBit's pretty good. It's pretty simple. 4 markets. FTX is a good choice too. You guys do what you like. Just do not trade on BitMEX. Again, it's going to happen one day. It's going to be similar to, well, I don't think with Bitfinex, like maybe for another 5 or 10 years. But the last thing you want to wake up to is a horror story or some email from your exchange official, especially if you're trading on like a low cap, like a low liquidity exchange like Trade Ogre or something like that, or Alt Lily, that they've been hacked, may compromise your account. Not sure deposits have been affected. I want to sleep easy at night, and I want to conduct my trades on an exchange that's reliable enough for me to do what I need to do. And I don't want to have to think about it. I don't want things to go wrong. I just want them to work. I'm like a baby when it comes to that. I want a good UI, right? And I want tools. So I've been trading with ByBit. They provide that for me. If you guys want to support the channel, or if you guys want to get off BitMEX, more power to you. You can use the link in the description down below. You get a $50, I don't know. They're always offering something. It's probably like $50, $25 when you sign up. Whatever you do, just get off of BitMEX, all right? ByBit.crackingcryptocurrency.com if you guys want to trade there. And you can join our training competitions. We do them like 3 times a year. We trade on ByBit together. All right. Okay, Forex. You guys can tell I'm tired. Maybe. If you guys can't tell I'm tired, then I'm getting really good at this show. It's not that I don't enjoy doing the show. It amps me up, but it was a long drive yesterday. A really long drive. This was a really good, I think this is, no, this is a second. Oh, that's my weekly analysis. I apologize. Diversified link. All right, so we'll keep it right here. Let's take a look at our Forex markets after we looked at AGNC here. All right. Daily. All right, so euro yen, not too much activity, not too much movement here. Again, moving up on lowering volume. I like this. This is a PTP signal for one particular strategy. I believe I showcased it with the Donchian strategy yesterday. Yeah, I believe I showcased the Donchian strategy yesterday. So things are looking good here. Nice crossovers. Everything proceeding nicely. So just need to be patient, let it work out. Stalling out a little bit, so we'll see if we get a fail safe here in a day or so. Exit near break even or with a small win or small loss. SPX 500 still long on the SPX 500 CFD. We entered this trade in the consolidation area. We've gotten the initial breakout. First take profit's been hit. Everything's fine. Same with SPLG. We entered where we should have. Where is the entry in SPLG? Entered SPLG. Here. Okay. Now I'm gonna pick myself. Sheet. I don't have to pull out my. Oh, you know what? That's right. I would have to pull out my Robinhood, and I do remember it was last Thursday when I entered SPLG. So it didn't enter, did not call SPLG for the group. I'm sorry, I did call the SPX 500 USD. Of course, Americans know that they can trade what I prefer to trade anyways. If I'm going to trade the SPX, which is the SPLG ETF, and USO still long on US. This is gonna, I'm not surprised by the throwback here. This doesn't surprise me. I thought I had this charted out. Yeah, here it is. Sorry, it's right here. So USO is, and again, this is stock, so I'm going to be, kind of aggressive. USO just forming this beautiful, beautiful ascending triangle. The volume signature is perfect. This is beautiful setup. But we are going to get throwback, right? So price is potentially going to pull back here and test 28.13. Unless I can get enough of you guys to just come in and market buy this up and get the other Robinhoodians to just get in on this. So I don't think this pattern is going to bust. We're a little bit past almost 90%. I don't want to shuffle out the side of this triangle. Otherwise, I would have to find another reason to be bullish on USO. But the fundamentals are good. The trade is sound, and the technical setup offers the right R2R that I need for my rare ETF. Well, no, I don't say rare. This ETF trade. The PTP methodology is here as well. ETF originally signaled for this trade. So it is signaling for a breakout or expecting a breakout. Nothing has changed insofar as that. The volume is still nice. The volatility is still nice. We're just going to have to wait a couple days. But pullback area is going to be 28.13. If price closes below 28, going to have to take an L on this one and move on and look for the next opportunity. But not going to get faked if we come down here to 28. Certainly going to hold my position and hold my metric. And again, not DCA. It's either going to be a losing trade or it's going to be a winning trade. I already put in my position. We done. That's about all the talk. Oh, wait. Precious metals, of course. We didn't even really look at Forex. We just looked at my trades, didn't we? It's like, yeah, man, like, about the rest of the market. All right, we'll be showcasing and kind of highlighting a very simple, a very basic pathways to profit strategy system here. There's a few components that are not going to be here because those are only going to come on the chart when we're in specific situations. But and one thing that I want to look at, of course, is the currency strength index. Let's see what we got going on. Ron Legato says, don't forget that a CC shirt makes you 90% more attractive. Yes. 80% more successful with the opposite sex. Or the same. Whale Alert is active on Telegram. So, do I not like Binance? I trade on Binance. Binance is just fine. You guys lost me on DLive. That's too bad. I really like DLive. Doesn't seem like you guys lost me on DLive. I'm still here. Yeah, I hope so. GiveLife66 says, link should hit $13. I hope so. Gonna make some of my friends very, very happy. They can stop asking me for money. All right. Yeah, I don't see any opportunities here really on the Canadian pair is the first CAD pair that I looked at. After a no trade signal yesterday, the Canadian Swissy is reversing here a little bit on the daily. Canadian yen is attempting to reach for a bullish trend, but it's not there. Swissy yen is not yet correct, not yet ready for a short, but perhaps on tomorrow's candle if we do end up rejecting. So, kind of break below, retracement, reversal, baseline bounce, beautiful entry. And the indicators do generally agree, but volume's not there, so I'd like to wait and see. All right. Come on, currency strength. This thing takes forever to load. It is just ridiculous, which makes me a little depressed when I sit down to code my cryptocurrency breadth indicator. It's going to take forever. All right. So we got the Australian dollar performing the strongest, followed by the euro. The British pound doing okay. The dollar all the way down. So dollar picking up though. So certainly risk off, and now we can see risk on, and now we can see risk off as money flows into the dollars. Assets and equities are sold. That's how it happens. All right, so expecting to see some strength in the euro, but and I see the euro Swissy a little overextended. This is actually a potential attractive entry right here. This is nice volume, decent break of the baseline. I'm going to be watching the euro Swissy here to see if I can get an entry. Actually, this is attractive. Price below 1.075. No. That's the only euro pair that's actually looking decent. Pound Canadian potential reversal baseline bounce. No. Pound Aussie, I would be in the mood to short. But we're kind of consolidating. We are certainly consolidating after a big move to the downside. So I really want to see a big break of this. All right, let's see a break of this consolidation. A nice, good signal. This is not going to work for me. Kiwi dollar, be waiting for the continuation signal to the upside. But again, a lot of things are consolidating. I don't want to be kind of rushing the trades. Got to wait for those full signals, guys. Full signals. Everything's got to work. Everything's got to come together. It's not there. You don't look for ways to take trades. The dollar UN, I shorted that not too long ago. Successful trade. Exited here, and I've been out of this this downturn. And overall, I'm glad for that. Let's see if we actually form a little bit of regular bullish divergence. See if we get to move back up to the baseline here. Sorry guys, I didn't see really anything interesting in Forex whatsoever. Let's see here. Gold proceeding upwards on lowering volume does not indicate a rejection. We've got support at 1774. Let's see how low gold can go here. I'm not an investor in gold in these prices. I am a distributor of gold in these prices, but I'm bullish on gold. Say link to 13, I say gold to 20,000. Let's be real, 3,500. But it's not going to happen unless we have a real crisis right now. It seems like things are doing all right. Palladium, I closed this trade out, capture profit on this wick. It's still doing its thing. Silver, that's there. But silver similar to gold here, generating a exit signal on the daily here. So let's see where gold wants to pull back, or excuse me, silver wants to pull back to maybe like 1883. Not a buyer at these levels. Long trades need to be exited at these levels if the daily closes like this. Platinum and palladium looking very similar. Again, just stuck in this range because they're being used for industrial purposes right now. That's what we're going to look at as far as CFDs, and we're going to skip indices today. And all right. We're going to get into today's cryptocurrency segment. We're going to talk about today's pretty big Twitter hack. We're going to get into the scuttlebutt on that. Before we do that, guys, remember, the show is fun. The show is brought to you by the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group. This is where we really dedicate what we do, myself and the other analysts, to educating individuals on what we do, how to trade the pathways to profit system, or how to build objective strategies. Some individuals require personal mentorship. We do community mentorship as well. We offer our premium indicator suite as well as our premium signal service. So a lot, and listen, it's certainly the best community that I've had the pleasure of partaking in. So a huge shout out to the premium members. You guys are fantastic. Thank you to all of you who showed up for the community mentoring session yesterday. Previous premium members who were part of the group, we've talked about the members come home campaign. So those emails are going out and still going out. But if you guys want to join us, if you guys want to work on your strategy, if you guys want to learn how to build an objective strategy, and you want to get away from the discretionary trading that you're going to see so much elsewhere, and if you want a really good primer on how to do what we do and build your own system from the ground up, so you don't have to listen to anybody, you can trust yourself, trade your own way, and live your own life, then certainly check out what we do. The link's in the description. It's also at the top, always there. I didn't put it there. Promise I didn't put it there. Producer put it there. Yeah, premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. I'll see you there. Yeah. I can't even come up with a punchline. Tired. All right, cool. Let's get into today's cryptocurrency segment. Let's go.
Can't catch a break over on BitMEX with all the wicks? Try a better alternative at ByBit.crackingcryptocurrency.com and rest easy for a change.
Whoa, sorry about that. I had to pull up a ton of articles because today's story is about, yeah, all right. Today's story is about the Twitter hack. A lot to talk about. This is interesting. So let's get into this. So the Twitter and crypto space is obviously buzzing about what is likely going to go down as the most significant hack in, Twitter's like short-lived, maybe like particularly moving forward, short-lived history. Attackers, malicious attackers were able to gain control of a laundry list of prominent Twitter accounts, including the likes of, the accounts of major figures in tech, finance, politics. All these accounts were compromised in order to push a fairly common, you send one, we send two back Bitcoin scam, right? So hijacked accounts include Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Kanye West, CZ, Andreas Antonopoulos, Apple, Square's Cash App, PayPal, hundreds more, even me. Just kidding, they didn't target me. All of those accounts were then used to post a brief message explaining how they're giving back to their followers in an effort to dupe people into sending funds to a Bitcoin wallet address. So our first link here, right here. Yeah. So in case you did not see it yesterday evening, here's an example of what the tweets looked like yesterday. Boom. Oh, let me turn that off. Blaring. Sorry about that. Of course, the most vulnerable users to such a scam are going to be existing cryptocurrency enthusiasts and hodlers, particularly of Bitcoin in this case. So it's no surprise that when these high-profile accounts were attacked in this massive breach of Twitter's system, that some of them, or at least the most prominent ones, were crypto exchanges, right? Binance, Coinbase, Gemini, Wobi, and other crypto exchanges were targeted as well. The attackers even hijacked the Bitcoin Twitter account, the @Bitcoin Twitter account, to target even more of our fellow Bitcoin brethren. But probably the most high-profile target in this attack was Elon Musk. He's fairly active on Twitter anyways, and he is known to tweet about cryptocurrency topics on occasion. His safe word is not Bitcoin. And his tweet was among the first to have been noticed and really raised the alarm bells in the cryptocurrency community. But despite that, even though we've seen this over and over and over again, within 10 minutes of the tweet being published, the wallet address boasted 3.64 Bitcoin, about $35,000 in just a few minutes, right? Now, the original tweet did come from the Elon Musk account, and it was deleted quickly. However, a second version was published soon thereafter. And this would suggest that Twitter, even after being aware that Elon Musk is sending out Bitcoin scam tweets, that they had not secured the account yet, or that they could. Several hours after the platform-wide attack became apparent to everyone, hundreds more of such tweets were going out every few minutes from various blue checkmark Twitter accounts. And this suggests that Twitter was indeed struggling with getting a grip on the exploit taking place. Now, the financial damage seems to have been limited. In the end, the attacker managed to net only 12 Bitcoin, about $120,000 worth of USD at current valuations. Perhaps that dump was them selling it. Now, despite that, the fallout has been swift, though. Many high-profile non-crypto personalities, such as this New York Times journalist Josh Barro, calling on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to be banned. Right? We wouldn't have to deal with this if they were legal. Well, you guys would say that about guns for a long time. From my cold dead hands, you guys said that about alcohol back in the 1920s. You guys said that about race cars. You have to deal with ways to educate society and use technology properly. So I'm not even going to, I've already done all the work. So you guys already know, I'm not going to grace that one with a true response. Now, again, Bitcoin was, you got me. Although Bitcoin was merely used as the form of payment and Bitcoin itself was not compromised in any way, shape, or form, and this depended entirely on gullible individuals willingly sending their funds to the attacker, this incident certainly does stand to tarnish Bitcoin's reputation among normies and casual observers, because it is now once again associated with scams and online criminals, like Ripple. Now, using Bitcoin for these sorts of scams, has one flaw, of course, which is that every transaction on the blockchain is public, not anonymous, it's pseudonymous. And therefore, we can pretty much easily trace whatever goes down. Now, the attacker, who made off with over 12 Bitcoin, is going to have to go to pretty big lengths in order to obscure his on-chain trail, and he has just made enemies. So we got this article from Decrypt today, and it explores, why, despite Bitcoin's ability to be easily tracked, the attacker chose to run the scam using Bitcoin instead of something like Monero, which is private by default. The first reason, somewhat obvious, Bitcoin is significantly easier to purchase, and it's by far the most popular cryptocurrency in the world. It's instantly recognizable. Everybody knows what Bitcoin is. And a privacy coin like Monero may have been the superior choice for such a crime, but most users reading the fake tweets would have probably never heard of something like Monero. I'm assuming that a lot of this Bitcoin might have come from individuals that just rushed out, bought it, and didn't really hold crypto before. Now, Monero addresses are also super long. Just being real. So it would have, left a lot less room for the remaining body of text. And not to speak ill of, Bitcoin folk, but Monero users are on average generally a little bit more sophisticated and less vulnerable to such a blatant scam because, they're kind of like pretentious cryptocurrency, not pretentious, but I'm just saying, like everybody's into Bitcoin. You got to be a special kind of person to be into Monero, right? Now, interestingly enough, the Twitter attacker seems to have left a little bit of a hidden message in a series of his transactions, kind of a little, avant-garde, a little come right at you, right here. So, if we, again, put these together, just looking at his TX ID, right, or his outputs, the way he decided to mix his UTXO splits here, put together, they read, you take risk when you use Bitcoin for your Twitter game. Bitcoin is traceable. Why not use Monero? And this suggests the attacker was very, very self-aware of the risk that he was taking by using Bitcoin for their particular scam. Now, again, this kind of seems like a message from somebody else to the attacker, but it is certainly the attacker's TXs. So not really sure what's going on here. Speculate in the comment section, because this is interesting, weird, neat, awkward. And who knows? They'll probably make a video about it. So lead Monero developer Ricardo always pronounce his name wrong. Ricardo Spagni, Fluffy Pony, chimed in on the Monero reference in this tweet that he put out earlier, writing, Bitcoin is a billion times. It's going to be hard to read. I'm going to have to turn. Bitcoin is a billion times easier to buy than Monero. It has a name that is instantly recognizable. Most of the people that saw the tweets would never even heard of Monero. Bitcoin addresses are significantly shorter than Monero, leading to more spaces in the tweet. So exactly what we talked about. But back to the scam. Let's look at the stats here. Let's look at the victims that were affected by this. The on-chain analytics crypto quant posted this following data. 388 victims sent Bitcoin to the address. 4.8 Bitcoin has made its way into Mixer so far. And no Bitcoin from the scam has gone on to exchanges yet. So it is not responsible for the dump. Now, as for how the attackers managed to get this unprecedented back-end access to the Twitter platform, this is where it gets really interesting, because Twitter itself seems to have acknowledged that the attacker gained access by targeting Twitter employees and admins in a social engineering attack. So Twitter got SIM swapped. What happened? This is great. So, getting a little more nuanced here, according to Asib Awan on Twitter, he says that in the following post, a Twitter employee was approached via a Discord gaming channel and eventually paid off to get access to their admin panel. So this was a direct, certainly social engineering, but the guy was willing. He's like, yeah, give me 2,000 for that. I'll give you the password. Still, the damage could have been a lot worse. The attackers did gain access to some of the most influential people's accounts, politicians, and brands in the world. But they used it to deploy a relatively harmless Bitcoin scam. Right? Now, imagine instead if they would have done probably what I would have done if I would have had the keys to the kingdom here, placing a highly leveraged position on the markets, open up a big, 100x short, 50x short, because you don't want to take that risk, 50x short, all in, and then just posting from every politician's account, every company, everywhere that Bitcoin is no longer accepted, right? So boom. Instant bucks. Spread FUD and international crackdown on Bitcoin, something similar. Or if you had Elon tweet something, which would have sent Tesla stock tumbling, right? Or soaring, like, hey, President Trump has just told me that. Now I want to look at a tweet from Vitalik. Yeah, so Vitalik points out in this recent tweet that it could have been a lot worse, right? So, again, he sums it up here pretty well. Now, Twitter has... no, thank you. I don't want to trade on backed. Now, funny enough, Twitter has since taken steps to automatically censor any posts that contain any strings that resemble cryptocurrency addresses, with whale alerts being one of the worst affected by the new security policies. That's why you're not seeing their tweets. They are active on Telegram. Go check their Telegram. You get all the whale alerts that you want there. Now, on the positive side, if this whole debacle has one silver lining, it's that perhaps this very common Bitcoin scam has finally been exposed to enough people. The send one, receive two scam has been a widespread, particularly in fake YouTube giveaway live streams, and it seems to always catch the unaware or newcomers inside the crypto community. So perhaps, hopefully, the profile of this attack was so high that we have finally gotten the message out to enough people out there, what this sort of scam looks like, and to avoid anything similar in the future. And this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Bitcoin. It really has to do with your own, naivete. Now, other positive takeaways are highlighted in this CoinDesk op-ed as well. The blow to Twitter's reputation is one thing, but centralized platforms are vulnerable to this point of failure. And of course, because they're vulnerable to this is an issue that can cascade into major online disasters. Incidents like this can move into, the online world closer to embracing decentralized solutions, where users are not at the mercy of a trusted third party that is vulnerable to these types of security holes, and millions of normal people will eventually be grasping for this, maybe for the first time today. So on the bright side, it is incidents like this that generate the impetus, the demand, the need for decentralized solutions and alternatives, which is exactly what we want to promote and promulgate to the world. So let me know your guys' thoughts and comments in the section down below. And let me know, if you had the keys to the kingdom like this, if you had control of Twitter for one day, would you have gone long or short, right? Would you have spread FUD or positive news? Let me know. Battle it out. With that being said, guys, all right. Let me take a quick look and see what we have for questions. All right. Okay. All right, we're good here. We're going to go ahead and listen, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to need to call the stream. My throat, I don't know if you could tell, throat's certainly starting to hurt. All right. So just real quick, I wanted to cover AMC Trading's question here, where he says, he asked a question in the Premium Members Lounge, and he asked, my discretionary reversals tend to always be right, but I put them on a little too early. And have I noticed a pattern in this? Not necessarily. Again, perhaps I should pay closer attention. I feel like, out of the 4 that I put on, 3 of them were successful. Actually, out of the 5 that I put on, 4 of them were successful. So, but again, very open to review my statistics. All my trading results are live, results.crackingcryptocurrency.com, as well as all of our analysts. But I will say this, I just kind of wanted to take this opportunity to talk about what it is that I'm doing and why. So, the trade or the strategy is called fading a breakout, right? And this really is a holdover from my original trading in equities. So that is how I used to trade in equities. I used to use Tom DeMark indicators, TD lines, TD/ST trend and support and resistance, TD sequential back before anybody knew TD sequential was a thing. Well, actually, Bloomberg always knew it was a thing. But everybody knew TD sequential back in equities at least. But yeah, Tom DeMark's The New Science of Technical Analysis was the first TA book that I read as a young trader, and that really changed my life. So I really do love that book and suggest it. I don't think that a lot of traders are going to find it very useful, as awesome as they may think that it is with me building it up like that. It was really informative for me then, but I don't actually use a lot of those methods now. I use those indicators now, but certainly his systems approach and his mindset helped develop me into the trader that I am today. So maybe I should give him more credit. But fading a breakout or fading a market is kind of like catching a trend, right? Sometimes you have to throw it multiple jabs before you can land a right cross, right? And that's okay, because you're looking for, in that particular trade setup, you're looking for an asymmetric return to your risk. So you can have a few losers. It's just that one winner that you really need to go through, and that's okay. So you have that accounted for in your position sizing and your risk management. It's a particular strategy. And yeah, as I said, used to fade breakouts. That was my primary strategy in equity using Tom DeMark indicators. So a bit of a holdover. And, my discretionary strategy will pivot from time to time depending on the circumstances. The most important thing is that it's rules-based and conservative. Now with Link, the correct move was to re-enter at my entry area on the next opportunity, but I was unable to So I got a checking and a savings account, right? The way I got things set up. No. So I was out driving for about 11 hours yesterday, and I have my mobile device, and I do not, for security purposes, keep my two-factor codes on that device. I keep those on a separate device. So forgot to grab that phone on the way out, so that was unfortunate. Unfortunately, Link was not the trade for me. In that particular, we did have that nice wave up. We could have some more waves up. We're not sure yet, but the other trades worked out quite nicely. So now I haven't put on this. I haven't put on any trades this morning. I haven't updated anything. And as I said on Monday, I said I wasn't going to do anything until Thursday. So we'll see what tonight's daily close looks like and take some action from there. So good question. Thank you, man. Hopefully some of that was helpful. But I do welcome, if you notice a pattern in my discretion, please let me know. Events occurring today, nothing. Upcoming events, obviously the launch of the Online Trading Academy on Monday, and the members come home emails going out. And make sure if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, to leave them in the comment section down below, because we are going to be selecting random commenters once a month and giving them a month of premium access for free to the premium trading group. So we're going to switch over to the main scene and we'll do the outro. All right, big picture. Yeah, you guys like that. Remember, guys, we are very, very proud to host the fastest growing online community of traders and investors. Make sure to join us to keep up to date in the Discord, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com, link in the description down below. And it is really the premium trading group that makes this possible. The show is brought to you by them. Everything that we do is designed to improve the members' experience, right? Improve our premium members' experience with expanding our online, with expanding our educational content, our signal service, our indicator suite, our mentoring, and our community. So if you guys are interested in any of those pillars of what we do as a company, make sure to visit the link in the description down below, premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com, to learn everything that we do and find out the package that is correct for you. If you guys ever need any help or any assistance or have any questions, make sure to email our support desk at support@crackingcryptocurrency.com. They will sit down and figure out the right choice and plan for you. With that being said, remember, guys, technical analysis is amazing. Nailing awesome entries is amazing. But at the end of the day, it is risk management and discipline that pay the bills in the Wise household. So hopefully you can make that true in your own lifestyle. It is the ability to play the game year after year and not killing the game one year and then wrecking it the next year that differentiates a professional from an amateur. And trading is not the most important thing in life. Life is the most important thing in life. So make trading an activity and a pursuit that benefits you as an individual. Never lose sight of that, and do not let your life become consumed by the charts. And if you're spending way too much time on the 15-minute chart and you haven't spent any time with your loved ones, then for the love of God, take a day off. Market's not going anywhere. With that being said, guys, trade safely, be excellent to one another. Smash the like button on your way out, guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Cheers, guys.